Okay, so the MTHFR gene. Now, number one, it's very crucial and critical that you understand what is going on here, because many people are suffering with this gene discrepancy, and it causes a lot of symptoms that can be very draining and a major downer. The gene coding no longer works. In order to activate the enzyme that is responsible for converting the inactive form of vitamin B9, folic acid, into methylfolate. That is the active form of vitamin B9. Okay, so anytime there's a failed conversion, all the actions that the vitamin is responsible for, good energy, good detoxification, cleansing of the circulation, neurological focus, etc., all of those actions are immediately diminished, decreased, taken away. Number two, you have to understand the detoxification pathways of someone with the MTHFR gene can be greatly inhibited. And this can cause an increase in homocysteine, which is levels of B12 that are going off the charts. Also, it will lead to a general systemic rise in inflammation. So you'll have a lot of joint pains and symptoms of tissue pain. It can lead to eventual heart complications, stroke complications. It can also affect the synthesis of neurotransmitters in the brain, dopamine, serotonin, etc., which can contribute to symptoms of depression, anxiety, just feeling down all the time. It can lead to addictions to alcohol, drugs. So you have to understand that if the detoxification pathways are inhibited and there's a buildup of inflammation and toxins within the body, you have to be careful of consuming foods that are loaded with heavy metals. You have to be careful of consuming folic acid, which is, again, the inactive form of vitamin B9, because that won't be easily converted into methylfolate, right? So you have to be careful with taking wrong, dirty supplements that could be jamming up this whole system and making your symptoms and you feel worse. So here's what I would do as a starter. And that's why it's really important to, number one, be coached, right, in depth for at least 6 to 12 weeks. Also, I'd recommend get a food sensitivity test that tests all of the foods that you could be sensitive to that could cause additional inflammation, and get tested for heavy metals, etc. Once you get the food sensitivity test, along your coaching process, I would start to avoid any sort of grains, right? Especially gluten, right? Or enriched flours, because all that's going to contain not only inflammatory refined substances, but also it's going to contain folic acid, and we don't want to overwhelm the system. So again, grains, enriched folic acid, we want to avoid that as a starter. I would say yes to the active methylfolate. It should help you feel better. Also, methylcobalamin, right? Active form of vitamin B12, and then NAC and glutathione in small amounts gradually increase to enhance detoxification pathways in the liver. There's so much you can do, right? Many suffering with this, but there's much that you can do. Don't lose hope. This is Dr. Hudson Taylor. Talk to you soon.